Thanks.
All right, the big news yesterday is there'll be a chairman of this Benghazi Select Committee that was announced on Friday, thanks to Speaker Boehner saying, I've been won over, the facts are out there, and we don't have enough of them. I need somebody in charge. With a prosecution background, he's just in his second term, and he's somebody that's been all over this. Trey Gowdy, the guest at the Washington Correspondents' Dinner of Greta Van Susteren, will get the nod. And right away, there's a problem. He needs to get all the evidence front and center, and there's already a major memo that is not out yet.
Right. The past 20 months have been filled with passion when it comes to Trey Gowdy and the congressman's attempt to really get to the bottom of what happened on the anniversary of 9/11 in Benghazi. Sat with Greta both as her guest at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and last night, talking about what his goals are. You know, why on 9/11 were there shortages of security? Why no rescue or movement once they knew there was an attack? Why is the truth so hard to get from this administration? But he said, in fact, that you can't get the truth without the facts. Right, Steve?
That's right.
I want to see every single solitary relevant material document. In fact, I want to see everything for which there can be any argument that it is relevant, and then we can judge whether or not it's material. You can't draw conclusions if you don't have all the facts. And what this committee is going to do is once and for all lay out all the facts, and then your jury can draw whatever inferences and conclusions they want to. Washington is its own ecosystem. They wouldn't like it if I cured malaria tonight. I mean, because I'm a Republican. So, of course, they're going to be critical. That's not the jury.
That's right. You know, there are a lot of fair-minded people out there who do want the answers. I mean, there are some partisans, and we heard from Jay Carney yesterday. Keep in mind, the White House is on the defense right now. The press briefing yesterday was dominated by questions about Benghazi, and that's the last thing the White House wants to talk about. They want to talk about global warming and stuff like that. But the people of America want to know. There's a new Fox News poll out. Should Congress continue to investigate Benghazi until somebody is held accountable? 60% of you say yes. A quarter say absolutely not. Meanwhile, when it comes to the Benghazi and the Obama administration, is the administration trying to cover up? 61% of you say yes. Are they being open and transparent? Only about a quarter of you say yes. Look, the key to this whole thing is whether or not the mainstream media are going to cover it going forward. If there are bombshells, it's going to be hard not to cover.
Here's one. There's an email that Gowdy and I think everybody out there should want, I believe, because in the email, according to Catherine Herridge, has been confirmed, there's a little subject line where it says, essentially, Fox News, semicolon, U.S. officials knew Libya attack was terrorism within 24 hours. Now, that's the story that we had. We were running with it. You know what that subject line is? That's an internal email sent out throughout the White House, which details a 7-page strategy how to deal with people like Fox News, Catherine Herridge in particular, Brett Baer, Adam Housley, leading the charge when it came to this investigation. So you would think if you have a counter strategy to that, maybe within the counter strategy you might have a pathway to the truth.
Right, and ultimately, when you mention truth, it's important to know, too, that Trey Gowdy was originally hired under the Clinton administration in South Carolina for the AG's office there. So, and he said himself, this should transcend politics. We should be demanding the truth as Americans, but Americans should be demanding the truth because the families of those who were so viciously killed deserve it.
Absolutely.
Bottom line.
You're right. And National Review today has a great online column that says why Benghazi matters. And here's just one part of it. It says, the White House misled the American public about a critical piece of national interest, and it continues to practice deceit as the facts of the case are sorted out. That, to answer Hillary Clinton's callous question, is what difference it makes. So stand by. Trey Gowdy's the guy. They're going to start releasing the rules and how they're going to do it in the next day or two.
Look for 10 to 20 members being named. I'm very curious to see if Democrats are going to be in there. And as Brittany brought up last night, are they going to obstruct? Are they going to participate? That will really decide how this whole thing will go.
Right, we will stay with this story. We're going to shift over to